Today, we get to see what we call a classic shark bump. Hi everyone, welcome to today's lesson here at Active Self Protection. I'm your host, John Correa. Today's video comes to us from Houston, Texas. Palm pepper spray is next generation OC spray. It's hot at 1.4% major capsaicinoids, and its modular design means you can customize it exactly to you. 3 different setups, lots of different color combinations. You can make it exactly as you like. And the flip top safety prevents accidental discharges. It's 10 to 12 foot range and 25 half-second blasts. Make sure that you can keep that long range eye poke at long range. I trust Palm OC and I recommend it for everyone for self-defense. There are 7 guys here with their t-shirts over their face, hiding their identity. Like 6 or 7, whatever. They're gonna approach this guy who had a flat tire in his rental car, pulled into this parking lot at 1 o'clock in the morning to change his tire, and the 2 guys are gonna approach him and ask him for $1. And he is going to fall for that ruse and give these guys $1. When he does, the guy there on the left pulls a gun on him and says, "Give me your car and give me your car keys," which is gonna lead our victim to kind of getting away from him and getting down the road a little bit. Now the whole party's gonna start because they've got his rental car that he had just finished changing the tire on so that he can get back down the road because he had a flat on the highway at 1 o'clock in the morning. So now they're gonna think about going back after the victim. Nah, they're gonna pile in the car instead. Well, wait a minute, this guy may have his wallet on him and those kinds of things. So while they're trying to figure out the car, dude's kind of run after our victim a little bit, who runs off enough to get the guy to leave him alone. They are all gonna pile back in the car. Cops have not caught any of these perps. The good guy got away from them in this particular one. They located the rental car the next day, abandoned a few miles away. Thankfully, our victim was not badly hurt. These guys apparently took that car on a joyride. The chances of police finding any of these guys is next to none. It's another great proof that you are responsible for your own protection and no one's coming to save you, and we're gonna talk about that in our lessons today. Man, what a bad time to be in the wrong place, but this is how defensive encounters go, so let's think about lessons. Said it before, I'll say it again. In 2023, there is zero excuse to be walking around with your identity covered like this, okay? So we are past the pandemic. There's absolutely no call to be having your t-shirt wrapped around your head. There is nothing going on here but crime, okay? So you see this kind of stuff go down, that should be a huge red flag. It should send off all the warning klaxons in your head that bad stuff is coming. I have to protect myself. And you gotta pay attention in your world, particularly in these kinds of transitional spaces. You cannot let this kind of stuff go and just kind of hope for the best, because this kind of pack of dudes is a big problem. Of course, as a good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person, I want you to carry your firearm on your person as well. This is Houston, for goodness sakes. It's Texas, it's constitutional carry. Number 2, you see 2 guys approaching you with masks on their faces like this, 1 o'clock in the morning, middle of nowhere. This is what we call a shark bump, that they're like, "Hey man, you got $1 I can have," or whatever. And the guy is gonna give into them on that. Far better, you see these guys coming away off, close and lock the door, close the doors, get on the other side of the car and tell those guys, "Stay right there, I got nothing for you. Stay away from me, I don't have any needs," whatever. This is a time to set big, healthy boundaries and firm boundaries and enforce those boundaries. Of course, you can only do that if you have the tools to do so, if you have the skills and the plan to get on the other side of the car, keep those guys away from you, and a gun on your person, just in case. What exactly happened here? The guy pulls a gun. Well, listen, next part of this, either comply fully or resist fully. This guy was pretty darn compliant. I think that was the right choice. It's a rental car. If your family's not in it, let them have it, man. I get it. There's your stuff in there and that's a problem. It's not even your car. It's a rental car, for golly sakes. Your insurance will take care of it, right? And you know, this is, I guess, an argument from the rental car companies to get the damage waiver and the loss waiver. I wouldn't pay for that. It's not my recommendation, but you know, I think it's an argument for it. Now, the other part of this is our defender doesn't get out of the danger zone very well. And you see him here chasing that guy down. Man, don't lurk where they are doing you crime, okay? So just run hard. Even if you've left your cell phone in there or something like that, get away from it as hard and as fast as you can, because nothing good is coming from that, of you lurking around there. He might have been victimized again. And then we saw him at the very end when we did our first walkthrough that he was hanging around and kind of like chased them down when they were driving off. Terrible idea. Get out of the danger zone as hard and fast as you can. Get to somewhere where, you know, you can use a phone at a gas station or something like that, somebody else's phone, or maybe have something like a smartwatch you can use as a phone in an emergency in case something like this happens. Really terrible situation, man. Let's think and make sure that we're protecting ourselves in these bad environments to cover our ass.